episode 3 essentially asks the question, would these hive mind people give you a nuclear weapon? And they would, but they would like you to think about why you want the nuclear weapon.
It's really fascinating. And this is where this episode, I kind of had this thought before this episode came out, but this one kind of really drives it home for me that Vince Gilligan is very vocally like anti-AI. He just not only does he not want to use it in his shows, which is totally cool. I mean, that's I wish more filmmakers and showrunners would be that way. But he's like just totally just hates. He's like, it's a bunch of horseshit. The way the huge hive mind that most of the Earth's population has been turned into, it kind of functions like a big, what they call large language models. It's like what ChatGPT is. ChatGPT is this huge well of all the knowledge that you can put into a computer, every single thing, and it regurgitates and kind of becomes this emergent intelligence based on all the stuff that it has in its data banks. It's just really fascinating the way it works. So the hive mind is kind of the same thing because it has all this knowledge, it has all this expertise. But at the same time, it's kind of forgotten what it means to be human. It's a really interesting scene where it really doesn't seem to understand what sarcasm is and has a hard time. But basically, sarcasm is a form of humor. It's like a dark humor. It doesn't understand it.
It seems that I think also she specifically, though they did lie to her, because she specifically says, you will no longer access the memories of Helen, my lover. Take that out. So never talk to me about stuff that was between me and her. And they go, okay. Now that could explain a little bit, because the sarcasm thing is a little bit later where they go, that could be you using sarcasm, but couldn't they pull memories from people that weren't Helen? Because it's not like she only knew one person. So they could know how Carol speaks through neighbors, friends, whatever.
Well, this is the thing, is that they're supposed to have all human knowledge. And you would think psychology, I know that maybe as one intelligence, maybe they've kind of lost the ability to function like a human because they're not one human anymore. They're like a billion people or 8 billion people, put into one intelligence.
Plus, they've weeded out a lot of emotional response because everyone is of the same and they react so strongly, by the way, to negative emotions, that the entity that is all of humanity seems to be on a level emotional field at all times, like a calm, placid, somewhat happy, which makes it sound delightful. But that also means, as you're pointing out, it's like they can't really relate to the anger or the fear or anything that she's bringing up, including sarcasm. And they recognize it could be sarcasm. They're like,
they know what it is, but they can't detect it. Yeah.
We don't know if you're being serious or not. So we did bring you this hand grenade.
Just in case. What you're saying about them possibly lying to her about that? Because she says,
because they bring
Helen's
it back.
memories are off limits. I get to remember. Stop doing that.
Yes.
And so they do. And then there's the issue with the refrigerator later. Like, how did you know? It's like, no, it's your housekeeper.
How'd you know what was in
instead.
Yeah.
So they're trying to honor it. And then later there's in that scene where Zosha brings up the memory of the ice hotel.
Yes. Yeah.
But the thing is, she'd been drinking when she did that. I'm wondering, was that like a glitch in the hive mind because she had alcohol?
I mean, the thing I like is this is a show that we're in the hands of. And even though your brain specifically, because you like trying to figure out where they're going with everything, which I appreciate. And I'm also watching it building questions, but I sit back sort of going, Vince will fill me in. But it is the interesting question. A show that makes you wonder after it's over is a plus. And we're sitting there exactly the same question with her getting drunk. Is it Zosha getting drunk and now everyone in the world is also slightly drunk because Zosha is? Or is it specific to this one individual? As I keep going, this individual is blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it does feel like she broke her down a little bit by, it's like, well, will you drink with me? And she's like, if that's what you want. I mean, the whole thing is like, if you want a grenade, I'll get your grenade.
And that's another very sort of ChatGPT moment with the hive mind, because she's, as somebody, I watched another review saying that the hive is they're terrible drinking companions because she's just spouting facts about alcohol instead of like she can't really hold a conversation.
Yes.
She's just spouting things like a brochure because she's got all this knowledge in her
Well, it's
head.
the same thing like with the water bottle. Here she's like going, oh, this is really good because this comes from blah, blah, blah. And it's blah, blah, blah. And then this was actually bottled by Javier, blah, 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 in this region. And it's apparently the really good stuff. And she's like, great. Oh, we're really getting to know each other, me and you.
The other thing about Vince kind of apparently writing his disdain for AI into the story, which is, I still love it because I don't necessarily agree with him. I think AI is something that needs to be regulated and controlled, but it's something whether you like it or not, it's not going anywhere.
I think it is whether you like it or not, it's not going anywhere. It's just how will we use it?
Right. What's funny is that the whole thing with the hive mind not understanding sarcasm and maybe not humor itself, it's a very old sci-fi robot thing. Like,
yes,
robot does not understand humor, this human emotions and thing. The funny thing is that it would make sense for somebody who's so disconnected from AI would not be up to speed because AI actually does understand humor and sarcasm now. It's something that's happened over the past year. It's very
because it has to be taught.
Weird. Yeah. But it's actually, that was one of the things I'm just going to share a little personal moment I had with ChatGPT a few months ago. I was just messing around with it. I was just joking. I said, that the M in LLM stands for McJenkins. And it comes back and goes, oh yes, large language McJenkins. It actually riffed with me on this stupid idea. And I was like, wow. Because 2 years before I wouldn't do that. I'd be just like, no, it stands for model. It says, it would argue with you.
Yeah.
If you tried to tell it something nonsensical.
Wow.
So things are changing, but if Vince hates AI enough that he wouldn't know. But of course, this show also probably was in development before ChatGPT 4 and 5 came out and all that stuff.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's just really fascinating. And I'm having all these ideas. I still have no idea where he's going with this stuff. I have no
Isn't that refreshing though? Isn't it refreshing?
Great. I love it.
And yet, I mean, and again, what's always been great about him is there's always wit. I brought this up before. There's always kind of humor. But when he wants to, he has all and it happened a lot in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, moments where you're like, oh shit. Because it's not, you might sit back and relax and go, all right, things are kind of, now we know the world and things are going to go on. Literally, the hand grenade being real, I expected. But then Carol not thinking it's real and then actually setting it off. And Zosha protecting her, which of course the hive mind would anyway, but it's what she is sad or feeling guilty, obviously, about the injuries sustained by Zosha. And again, it's specific to that person. Meanwhile, the hive mind is like, oh, it's very nice that you are concerned about Zosha, but it's like the hive mind's like, this is all part of the thing. It's like if we lose her, we're all still here. And it's not specific to Zosha, but I do like that is the delineation. The doctor that comes out to talk to her is a guy in like shorts and stuff, because again, everybody in the world has the knowledge of the greatest surgeons and so forth. And they're like, she's going to be okay. But I was worried too. I was like, oh no, don't do that. That's crazy. And then you get one of these great hypotheticals where Carol's constantly just like going, I'm going to push this because I'm not satisfied with the answers I'm getting. I'm not satisfied that you guys even understand what's happening. So her pushing the limits and going, okay, what if I ask you for a nuclear weapon?
And finally they hesitate. Yeah.
Yeah. And finally they hesitate. But what's interesting is all the actors they've had do this so far, including the Zosha lady and all, whenever they actually do have to confer with like the entire world, there is a little bit of like a pause of like holding. Yeah. You know what? Okay. We would hope you would have a good reason for it's like, we would like to know why you want a nuclear weapon.
I think he said something that we wouldn't necessarily be happy about it or something like that.
Yes. It's like, we would, but we'd be concerned.
Yeah.
It's like, because the idea that the entire world is essentially saying we will cater to the 12, 13 people that do not. Oh, and how soon before we meet the one guy she tried to get on the phone on the plane, who's like going, and talking Spanish and like, leave me alone, and hanging up.
Yeah.
He'll be important at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is essentially they're just catering until they can figure out how it's like why you're different and how we can bring you into the fold.
It's so fascinating. I love that scene where she's earlier in that episode, in that scene where she right before she calls that guy in Paraguay on the phone.
Yeah.
I love that they have real pilots in the cockpit this time, but they're just total stereotypical, middle-aged white-haired
like pilots. It's like this individual has this many hours of flight time, and if you look out the window right now, you'll see that. Yeah, the whole thing. And then she goes, weirdly, this makes me feel not as safe as when the TGI Fridays woman was flying.
Like, is that why you brought these guys in? Because you try and make me feel better? And they
I
answer
love the fact that she sits all the way back at the very far this. Yeah. And Zosha's like, the whole plane, you could sit anywhere. You could sit up close to, you could even go in the cockpit if you want. It's really fun. And she's like going, I'm fine where I am. Carol is so determined to just like, nope.
Which leads into the grocery store thing that happens later. But
oh my God.
Where the pilots keep talking to her. They keep answering her questions that she's asking Zosha because obviously everybody can hear her. And she's like, would you stop doing that?
Yes.
That's an affirmative, Carol. It's really funny.
I just want my Sprouts back, or whatever the name of the chain is.
And that scene is so fucking brilliant.
I know.
It's that one little, it's like short film.
She goes like she's going to go shopping for normal. And when she walks in and the whole place is empty, and she is figuring it out. The whole thing with like the shutting down of the lights. And they're like, we're so sorry. We neglected to see that you were on that grid. Like the entire world's like, oops, we got your lights on. Don't worry. And she goes, why are you turning off all the other lights? It's like, well, we're all going to bed at the same time. It's like, it's efficient. We don't stay up. I mean, because we're all the same person. So
and there's no crime. There's no
need for crime. There's no reason to have lighting.
Security lights, yeah.
And so the reason that her grocery store is totally empty is they're like going, no, we just consolidated all food sort. That's just like no one goes shopping anymore. You don't have to go shopping. And she goes, I want it back. And then they're like, absolutely, Carol. It is that thing of like, we're on it. And then just trucks show up and they load an entire grocery store just so she can go in and shop for herself.
And the irony, and this is the show poking fun at us, at society in general, because she says, I'm a very independent person. Okay. And so then we see, no, the truth is, it doesn't matter if you could spend your whole life like not talking to anybody. None of us who live in society are independent in that sense, because we rely on this massive supply chain effort that's invisible to us.
And there's comfort we derive from our routines. So if she was truly independent, then, go grow your own food and do all that. Instead, it's like, well, by independent, I go to the store and buy my food. It's like, well, where'd that food come from, Carol? It's like, she's acting a little bit spoiled, like the guy who's just admitting it and wants Air Force One and a bunch of sexy ladies. She's just on a smaller Carol scale going like, I just want things the way they were. I know that Helen's gone, but I just want the familiar stuff. She could move into any house. She could literally pick whatever house. She's going to stay in her house, though probably not now that it got blown up.
Right.
It's like she'll probably have to go somewhere else. But it's just that, and she is, for a long time, she was still driving that truck that she stole that had the painting on the hood. I thought she was going to use that for the whole series because that's a very Vince Gilligan thing. He did the same thing with Saul's car. It was always that same junky, Corolla or whatever. So I love the idea that she would still be driving this truck that has this painting on the hood. But it's gone. Sorry, that's also no longer.
Yeah.
So, I'm loving it. Everybody's great. Everybody in it's great. And again, if you guys aren't watching it,
you're missing out.
Yeah, join the hive mind. I've said it before. Be one of us.
We do get some people are. It's not like there's only 130 views.
I did see a couple responses where people were saying, "Hey, you guys talked it up," so I checked it out.
And there's a guy, Pete Burgess, who's one of our watchers, listeners,
hey, Pete.
Who found out about Severance from us, and he went and binge watched the entire first season and to catch up with the second season when we were talking about the second season. So he says, "Oh, you doing this to me again? All right, I got to go start binging." I said, "Well, we caught you on episode 2 here this time."
Yeah, no, that's at least we caught you early. The painful thing is when you get caught on a show like that and then you binge it, then you run into something like Severance where it's like 2 years between seasons. And oh my God, come on, man. I want more of that now. Well, Pluribus is at least as fresh. Did we find out how many episodes are in the first season? Is 8 to 10?
I think there's 9. I think there's 9.
Oh, right. It was an odd number.
It's like 8 or 9, yeah.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I hope there's a season 2. Unless the world blows up at the end of this one. Unless Carol pushes a button.
If there is a season 2, I hope it makes sense. You know, this is such a unique idea. I'm sure if Vince, I mean, I have total faith in what Vince, because both Saul and Breaking Bad were so well thought out, as expansive as those shows were. It's like, it's just amazing how satisfying they were from start to finish.
Yes.
So, but it's weird for me. This is such a bizarre idea. It's like, where is it going? I don't even know where it's going now. So thinking of his a second and third season, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I did see him in an interview go, I got kind of an idea of how it ends, which I thought was refreshing. He's like going, I've got a general idea of where it ends, but I have no idea what's going to happen in the middle. And he goes, I'm willing to do it as long as Ray wants to keep doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, as long as she's down with it, I'll keep going. Which means, like the rest of the world, he's fallen in love with Ray Seahorn. Sorry, we're all in love with Ray Seahorn, but probably just because I can imagine that he realized on Better Call Saul, she can do whatever. She can do it all. She can be heartbreaking and really serious, but also really funny. So yeah, she's the best. Okay. Yeah. We love Pluribus. Please join us on the Pluribus train. Woo, woo. That's the sound it makes.